What's going on, fellow travelers? We are here with another gun review, and this one is on the Henry Golden Boy. This one is in 22 caliber. Very fond of this rifle, very fond, and so let's just get into it, talk about it, my experience with it, and what I think. So this particular rifle, I got. If you guys remember the video about my Beretta 92, how I got that from. A woman at church whose husband had died, and that was one of his pistols. This is another one of hers. This one I actually bought from her. And this one was new in box, never fired. And just fantastic condition. Beautiful, beautiful rifle. So this is the Henry Golden Boy 22 lever action, and it is a brass receiver. Beautiful walnut stocks. You have really nice sights on this thing, particularly on the front with a brass bead, which is just gorgeous. This is really the heirloom 22. This is something you pass down to the kids and you teach the kids on, but this is not just a nice rifle. This is actually very functional, and I don't shoot any guns better or more accurately than a lever action rifle, and this one is no exception. So running through the rifle, it is made in the USA, which is really cool. Don't get much of that anymore. This rifle is a bit expensive. It's somewhere between $700 and $800 for the Golden Boy version. Well worth the money, in my opinion. But if you want to get a more affordable version that are just as good, you can just get the standard. And I've seen those used for as little as $350, which is a steal. Like, that's a great price. So it has a 16-round magazine tube. You know, not my favorite type of loading mechanism, but they are functional. They work. You got your magazine tube. You feed the cartridges down in there and stick it down. You really got to make sure that you lock in this guy right here, because on your first shot, your magazine tube is going to go flying out the front of the rifle. We also have a really nice octagon barrel. I don't know what the finish is on this barrel. It seems like some kind of paint. It doesn't look like bluing, although it might be. I'm not really sure. But this is a very durable, nice finish on the barrel. And I also like how they kind of rounded off the edges of the octagon. Sometimes those can be a little sharp on some brands, and they just are asking to get dented and marred. And so this is really well done. Moving on back, you have, again, really nice sights, which I'm very happy with. You have this little graduated step-up tool, so, you know, if you want to adjust your elevation, very easy to do so. Now, I'm going to roll in a picture of these sights because it's going to be hard to do with this camera here. But I have kind of two setups with these sights. So the bottom very small notch, I have zeroed at 200 yards. And this gun will hit every single shot at 200 yards on, say, a 10-inch circle. It is very accurate, and that's standing, no problem. It is very accurate. But for closer stuff, you know, if I use that bottom notch, my elevation is going to be off. So I actually drop the rear sight down, and I just use the wide two top notches for the close-up stuff. So I kind of have a long-range small sight and a close range short sight. I have the sights on this rifle zeroed at 200 yards, and I said this in another video, and boy, people really seem to have a problem that you would zero a rifle at 200 yards. Why would you do that? Well, I'll let this footage speak for itself. This is me standing, not rested, at a man-sized target, a little less than a man, at 150 yards away, and you can hear those impacts nice and clear. Why would you zero a rifle 200 yards away? Because you can hit 200 yards away reliably, easily. These rifles, and yes, they're a rifle. Just because it's a 22 doesn't mean it's worthless, guys. These rifles are quite effective, if you know what I'm saying. They are supremely accurate, and for whatever reason, I have a connection to lever-action rifles and can just shoot them with ridiculous accuracy, as you can well hear in this video. So I wanted to point that out to those people who sort of scoffed at the idea that you might shoot a 22 at 200 yards. There's your confirmation right there. I also wanted to point out something that I do if I'm going woods walking and carrying the Henry 22. How do I carry spare ammo? In a prescription pill bottle. Actually, this works really well. I've got somewhere between 35 and 40 rounds in this little pill bottle. It will keep your cartridges dry, right? If it's raining, keep dirt off of them. You can throw it in your pocket or in your bag. And seeing as the Henry, I believe, is 16+1, that's a few magazines worth of reload. And it's obviously very, very light. Moving back to the receiver, very heavy receiver. It is solid brass. This is not plated. This is solid brass. And you can tell, anytime you get a little scratch in it, there's nothing underneath. It's just gold. The action is to die for. Very smooth action. No complaints. Lockup is nice. The trigger is, again, no complaints. Very, very nice trigger. Wood stocks are the absolute perfect shade of stain for the walnut, and they are a really nice, hard walnut. When you tap on these, they kind of vibrate. So it's very solid. This is not crappy wood at all. And then, of course, on the back, you have this just awesome brass shoulder plate. And also, because of the solid lockup, it's not a semi-auto. So when you have this locked down, when you fire, you need 0 ear protection. This is quieter than a finish nailer. Very, very quiet gun. Accuracy, again, just outstanding. If I were to rest this rifle, I could reach out to ranges that you probably shouldn't with a 22, but it is plenty accurate. As far as reliability, I've had not a single failure. It eats everything I've fed it, just garbage, arms core, CCI, anything that's on sale in bulk. It eats everything. Now, I will say I've only fired 22 long rifle with it. I've not done any shorts or anything, so I can't speak to that, but I can say just for your regular old garden variety 22 long rifle, it's been outstanding in terms of reliability. I've always been a big lever action guy, but traditionally I'm really a Winchester lever action guy. I don't currently own a Winchester. Working on probably a Model 92 soon, but I gotta say, this Henry has absolutely opened my eyes to Henry arms in general, because this is just probably the most well done rifle, probably my top 3 most well built rifles I have ever had the pleasure of holding. And I'm going to compare it to one that you guys have seen before. So I'm actually going to compare it to the Winchester 1907 self-loader. And the reason is, when I hold this rifle, it is so sturdy and well built. This rifle was made in 1909, and it is still solid. It doesn't rattle. It doesn't creak. Nothing on it is loose. There's an old world build quality that this rifle has, down from the steel to the wood, the assembly, everything about it is completely solid, and it feels different. There's an experience holding this rifle that you don't have with a lot of modern rifles. The only modern rifle that I have had that comes close to that experience is the Henry. It feels like an old world rifle. It feels solid. It feels sturdy. Nothing rattles and creaks. I mean, there's not even any play left to right in the lever itself. There's no play in the trigger. There's no play in the hammer. There is zero play in the forend. The whole rifle feels like one solid welded piece. And you just don't get that anymore with rifle makers. Anymore, everything's just so cheaply made. And even if it has wood stocks, it's cheap wood, and you can literally just run your fingernail into them and put a dent in the wood. And this rifle is not that way. I hope I'm conveying this properly, but this rifle is so sturdy, high quality, and well built. It feels like an old world rifle that you just don't get in modern times. So who's this rifle for? Absolutely every red-blooded American who wants a piece of American history. I have absolutely taken this rifle woods walking. Again, I can reach out with such precision with this rifle. It's very handy, it's sturdy, it's accurate. I really can find no fault with the rifle. Now, I've tried to find more wrong with the rifle just to have a balanced review. I only have one complaint, and that is in the magazine tube. So the magazine tube seems to have been machined going this way versus this way. And there's machine marks, very obvious, and they have a very rough machine texture. And then it's basically just blued in a very shallow blue over the magazine tube. I would have preferred they use the same finish over the barrel that they did over the magazine tube, and done a better job maybe polishing that magazine tube, because it does have a little bit of surface rust. You know, when you have open machining and open pores like this, you're inviting rust to happen. But, you know, you keep it wiped down, it's not the end of the world. But for such a beautiful rifle, it feels like they could have just gone that extra step and done that piece. But really, guys, I even feel bad bringing that up because this is such a magnificent rifle. I've owned a lot of really nice 22s and a lot of really nice rifles. 22 or not, this is in the top 3 most well-built, good shooting rifles of any caliber I have ever tried. So if you're in the market for a 22 or a lever action in general, I would at the very minimum try to get your hands on a Henry. Just go check them out. Put your hands on them and you'll see what I'm talking about. I think Henry is doing something really special with these lever actions. And I can't recommend them highly enough. This is something you want to pass down to your kids, particularly if you get the Golden Boy. The Golden Boy has that heirloom feel to it. So there you go. That is my review of the Henry Golden Boy. It's a gushing review. I only have good things to say about this rifle. Can't recommend it highly enough. I'm going to give this one like a 9.8 out of 10. The only thing I would change is maybe finish that magazine tube a little better. Other than that, man, this is a primo, really well-built rifle. So, hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know if you've got a rifle that you feel like fits this category of just that old world quality, solid build. I want to know about it. I'd love to talk to you. So, let me know what you guys think, and we will see you on the next one.